Cliff Plat, then you use the storage to go to BPR, and then you go into Thorn normally with the hammer. But with grapple, it still makes sense in a lot of ways. But yeah, Bobby seeing that chest is nothing, and just save Ops out. Yeah, and just for those who are joining us, we are experiencing some technical issues right now. We are trying to get the map, but for now, I am doing my best to kind of give you guys the latest as to what's happening. Okay, so Tal getting all the Tingle statues. Okay, so we're people in chat saying we're back.
Okay, yeah,
nice.
We swapped remote PC, and I think that has fixed it.
Okay.
So yes, thank you, Kit, for keeping everything going while we were dealing with the issues.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but no. So now we do have all those 5. Tal, at least she does have those 5 Tingle statues. So it will be very interesting to see what is on ankle with that double Tingle statue on outset, which is Path to Jalhalla. Tal actually now she is doing this method into Forest Haven with the grapple. I believe Forest Haven was Path to Goma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which very interesting as to what this could be. This could be a pick. This could be one of the pictures actually.
Did we
although it depends.
Either runner do Linza Door cancel anyway?
We didn't. No. Both of them, I believe, held out for the Picto.
This actually could be our first Picto, with the second being in Linza's.
I could imagine this could be like a windfall-based item, like delivery bag or something, which then leads to like I don't know, like a Picto on Maggie delivery reward.
Yeah, another
that I can imagine happening. But we will see in just a second what is on here. I believe Small Iron Chest was dead, so it can't be that. No, it is a Picto. Okay, so we do have a Picto somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the classic, the Tanjo 3 always gamble, Pompey and Vera winning the day.
Okay, so Bottom Island here. Oh yeah, by the way, Bobby's on Bottom Island. I completely missed that. I'm sorry. But he just did that and got a shield from that. So that's our first shield.
Yeah. We also have picked up our 5th Tingle statue during all this time. How long were we gone? The game's just thrown them at us.
Tal got the last Tingle statue pretty much just as we came back alive. So, she's had all 5 for not too long, but yeah, she does. She now does have all 5. And again, it's gonna be very interesting to see what is on, because again, there were those 2 Tingle statues just kind of chilling on outset. So, yeah.
Yeah, and looks like we're gonna have our choice after we pick up that leaf. We'll have 2 dungeons available to us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wood's probably a little bit better without the bow. But
yeah. So I mean, just like the kind of the TLDR of the season so far. Bobby's been kind of. I mean, both runners have been kind of doing conventional stuff. They've both done. Okay, well, Bobby's done Windfall. I want to say Bobby's done Outset at this point. But I don't know if he's done Outset, but both runners have done kind of conventional stuff. Tal has been kind of doing other stuff like going into Islet, and Tal actually went into Outset first. So a lot of it's been Tal kind of trailing behind Bobby. We have got all 5 Tingle statues 25 minutes in. Again, with 2 of them being on Outset, which is Path to Jalhalla. So we are all very intrigued to see as to like what is on ankle.
Yeah. The only thing that we picked up on Outset, we haven't seen Big Pig yet, which Bobby may not have been if he's missing exactly 2 statues. We know where exactly 2 are.
He's just going to Outset right now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and on Pompey and Vera there was Leaf, which is kind of again why we were saying, oh, like I think actually there's that, and there's also a Picto that was hinted on Windfall. So it's, we weren't really expecting to find that Picto on Forest Haven on the tree branch, which is path to Goma. But no, there it was. So we do have that Picto locked Picto, and also again that sort of like, that sort of kind of like not like Leaf on tree branch, but sort of like something is like something that's like locking Leaf is on tree branch. So
yeah, it basically is Leaf on tree branch. It's Leaf on tree branch, but more annoying because you have to do Pompey and Vera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, Tal kind of again similarly as to like what Bobby did earlier, just kind of going into Thorn Fairy with taking the storage there. And she'll be getting the bottle, and then I think probably sail back to BPR.
Yeah, and then also get the Bomb Island shield on this route. So, Mail is hinted foolish this seed, but Soup is nice, especially on first sword. It is. I've heard Claire refer to the sword damage upgrades as one of the most underrated time save items that you can get. So picking up the Soup, especially before you have to do like Callie, is nice. Guarantee that one cycle.
Oh yeah, no, that Soup is also way more useful when you have baby sword, because that extra damage. Yeah. But I guess even then, when you have the Master Sword, having that double damage, it's like it makes it like damn.
Yeah, and we know we're going to be doing ET. We're very likely going to be doing Floor Masters. The classic souping spot.
It is definitely the case where if you have Earth Temple as a dungeon, more often than not you're probably going to get Soup, or either you're gonna want to get Soup, because especially doing some like the faster Earth Temple routes, you need magic, and if you run out of magic and you only have single magic, that's pretty bad. So you want that Soup anyway. So it's like
Who among us has not fallen just short of the Jahala Dorm story?
Yeah, I've fallen many times in Earth Temple because I ran out of magic. There's like only a handful of magic drops there, and
yeah. Time to see what our payoff is. We already have the bracers. Could be our shield's a good candidate. Could be a bow, pending key logic. Hammer.
Shield. Okay, so that does resolve that outset to Jahala.
Yeah, very classic path to ET item. Also puts angular in play for these runners as soon as they pick up their leaf. Bobby might just be saying, heck this, I'm gonna door cancel.
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, I guess in Bobby's mind, there's like a lot of things that could be that like path to Goma. He's probably not thinking that Picto's one of them, given that he also has the grapple. Although I guess by extension you kind of might think that, because the only thing that could really be that Goma hint pointing towards is the leaf, which is locked by a Picto. I guess because there's that Picto on Windfall. Again, as we were saying just before, we found it was Picto. You wouldn't really expect it to be Picto, because you wouldn't, like, again, there's already a Picto on Windfall, so a Picto locked Picto probably wouldn't make sense. But in this seed, that is the case.
You could be thinking something really stupid is about to happen, like, it's bows and the Picto's on Creeb.
Yeah. Momo in chat says, like, he might get bailed if there's a Picto on Lendos. And honestly, that could make a lot of sense. Because those two Lendos checks, by design are logically locked behind a Picto. So, could be
it feels like a very, very strong candidate for Picto in Lenzo. So if you have no fear and you just door cancel, you get paid out in the seed potentially.
But no, and that's like the reason why we don't know exactly where the Picto is because it was specifically an item hint. So. Bobby falling through the island there. I want to say getting pushed a little bit by the kid there. Yep. That's the thing when you have when you do lenses door cancellers because collision kind of doesn't really exist. It's very easy to fall through floors a lot. Like, just in this kid here, like, if you jump at the ground just in the wrong way, you could just straight up fall through the floor. I've done it many times. It's very annoying.
Yeah, it feels the worst when you just find yourself in the water.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like I don't want to say it's precise, but it feels like very specific.
Speaking of in the water.
Yeah.
We're going to see our good friend Sam. Hey, Sam.
Yep, Sam's just kind of chilling on the bench.
Yeah. Yep. You fell through the island again, didn't you? got very familiar with him when I was learning this trick. Oh,
double spiky. So could potentially hook shot. And there's that Picto. Okay, so Bobby kind of gambling there and it paying off with that Picto being there. And again, that's gonna pay off big time for Bobby because he's going to be able to get that. He's going to be able to get the Picto with Forbidden Woods and also with that leaf, and he already marks leaf there, so he knows that he's going to get that in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, unless there's something good right here on Mineko. It's going to be more positive for Bobby than Tall.
Yeah.
So, Tall also setting up her door cancel. There's our hinted leaf. So very gonna be woods next for Bobby once we wrap up hide and seek. That Picto is just so scary because you're just like, oh god, what if the other person just door canceled, or if they just went for it. But note to mom.
Yep, Maggie's letter. Not from Maggie, but Miss Marie just had her letter apparently.
Yeah, it's just all of the stuff that goes inside the delivery bag. Just no delivery bag to hold it.
Magnus in chat confiscated during class. Yeah.
Passing notes to the moblin. Do you like me? Yes or no? All right, we are into our first dungeon. Good old value wood. Definitely the one to start with without the bow.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby's got, magic and leaf and boomerang and also grapple, but, just with, like, those items as well, it, makes it, like, just with leaf, magic, and boomerang, Forbidden Woods is never a bad play because you can do it, for the most part, like, at full speed.
Yeah, We got the bombs too. That's the only other thing I can think of that really is a nice big time save. So.
Okay, so Tal getting that second Picto. Bobby getting the bow, or a bow, rather. And saving. Okay, so Bobby's doing a slightly different, I guess, way of routing this dungeon. I want to say... Yeah, no.
Yeah, didn't opt to store it and run back up to the top. I guess just gonna take the bulbs from here.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Yeah, it is worth saying that storage spot is quite a weird one. Some people... I know some people have no issues with it, but for some people it's like a really tricky one for some reason. Like some storage spots are just naturally tricky for no reason. But also just like the movement is also like, I don't want to say it's technical, but it's kind of whack sometimes. So again, makes sense if Bobby wants to kind of do it this way. But yeah, peeking that chest and not anything. Tal's getting her leaf there, so both runners now have the leaf, and both have magic as well. Yeah, and Manenko. Okay, piece of heart. So Tal very much, that's getting that earlier Picto. Essentially, is going to mean not much for her, so she's not going to gain an edge by that at this point.
Yeah, just the logic respecters losing out today. Anton with the screen.
Yep, Anton, my guy, just kind of standing there. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna ruin your day by talking to you." Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I hit that tree, I get the turnaround, and I'm just like, I'm getting really good to A presses in, and I get there like right before he gets to Anton, and I'm just like, God, I'm a god.
Oh yeah.
Movement.
Yeah.
One time.
Okay, so Bobby being a little bit careful with the movement here. Just in general, I think a lot of the movement around FW is, a little bit technical. Just in general, there is of course more technical spots across the game, but it's like many times it's happened where I've messed up movement in FW and I've lost like minutes. So it's not all a bad call to be a bit cautious here.
Yeah. There's not a lot of magic drops in here too, and with going up to the platform here with storage to check this chest before the mini boss, if you if you do stop to get the refills in the middle of the room, you can miss the cycle there. So it's the magic management and being very precise with the way you move and taking good lines is really helpful. But Bobby's gonna opt to peek this instead of blind check it.
That looks dead.
It looks dead.
Yeah. I know a lot of people struggle just peeking that, but I can often tell just by looking at like the bottom of the bottom of the chest. If it's like kind of like a rough bottom, then you can kind of tell that it's brown. But if it's like smooth, then it's probably a spiky chest. It is definitely not like an easy thing to see the difference of, but you get like a semi decent eye after a while. Yeah. Although I will say though, if it's a key chest, sometimes that kind of stumps me a little bit. I'll think it's like a spiky because I think that also has like kind of like a smooth bottom to it. But also then, again, it's just a key chest.
I play on console, so I just blind check it because I'm basically blind all the time anyway.
It is easier to peek on emulator. That is true. I know there's like a lot of I do play on console as well, but there are a lot of peaks that I struggle with. That like some people like I know Jazzix, for example, plays on emulator that he just like does easily, and I'm just like, how do you see that?
Yeah. I think the one in this room that Tal's in right now, where you can see the chest from really far away.
Oh yeah.
There's a quiver somewhere. That might have been top of Cliff Plat, the one that we stored to get into Thorn.
Maybe, yeah. Good to have though.
Yeah. You can just machine gun at Cyclos or the DRC platform. Setups are for nerds.
Yeah. Fire and ice arrows on Bobby's end. So nice to have.
Two bows and woods. We are going to check for the key.
Yeah. This is a straight up a good strat, and it's a strat that I should do a lot more, but I just kind of forget to do, and I kind of muscle memory past it, and then I go to big key chest, and it's a key, and I'm like, well, I shot myself in the foot there. But yeah, no. If you don't have, if you haven't found the small key and the big key, this makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen either key.
I don't think we've seen either. Yeah.
I think it's a really good call.
Yeah, and this is the chest. So, best case scenario, there's a key in both tree trunk and in and big key. Like Bobby can probably just take like one look at basement with that like one chest that you see, and if he finds that it's not a key chest at all, he can probably just like leave straight from that point because he knows that the other two are keys, and that's not the most useful things in the world.
Yeah. Thank God for race mode. How cursed would it be if Callie could be a key?
Ugh. just you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so small key there, like the one you don't want to see. Forbidden with small key. I don't think there's any less useful small key.
All right, so this is the last item.
Shard.
Okay.
And Bobby, because Bobby checked that double Mothula chest, he knows that the big key is something. So, or a big key is something, but it's a big key. Yeah. It's vanilla, so he doesn't need it. So he can just go ahead and not worry about it.
Yeah, we also don't have the very silly situation of having the key in double Mothula, and you have the gamble of storing the big key to skip the big key. It's always a nice flex.
Yeah, so because Bobby did not get the big key, he'll be doing the chest storage here. Nothing too crazy about it, it's just a regular chest storage. Although chest storage can be finicky, but he gets it fairly quickly.
Yeah, nice
bomb push. Yeah. It's definitely one of those like types of storages that you can either get first try or it takes you like 10. It's I've had it many times where it's taken me like many attempts to just get like a simple bomb push storage. Because sometimes your fingers just don't cooperate, and it feels like the hardest thing in the world.
You start thinking about it, and then you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah,
some of these are just cursed. Like the chest across seeds, I feel like it's built different.
Yeah, I have heard that. I think I do know for a fact. I think Link's hitbox actually changes depending on how much health he has. Like, I think if you're at low health, your hitbox is slightly different. Someone in chat can confirm or deny this, but like, yeah, like sometimes like your hitbox can be different.
Yeah, bomb push is harder with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really clean one cycle.
Yeah, that one cycle is not the easiest thing in the world because you do have to hit most of those quick spins. Okay, so add vote in chat confirming it's low health is different. This is just probably a more kind of a feeling thing, but I feel like different chests have different sizes as well. Like I swear, like doing bomb push on a spiky chest feels different to on a brown chest. That's probably just my brain being stupid though. So but it's just yeah.
Some of them are definitely chest across the seeds in woods is different. Phantom Gang is different. I'm glad we don't do that anymore. There's a lot of them that are a little bit off. So Bobby's now post Woods going to pick up that second pick though, getting to take advantage of the warp from Callie. We'll likely see both of these runners head into DRC from here. But looking pretty good on shards. We found 3 of our 5 overworld shards so far. Really, swords are the big question. Like,
yeah, still on baby sword. 45 minutes in, so it's not out of the question. I have seen seeds where you've had like it'd be like go mode, except you still need to find all 3 swords. I've seen those seeds, and they are they are something.
Yeah, I've had that, and it's like all right. My go mode list right now is bow, and bow.
I feel like bows are like kind of worse. Yeah. I had everyone chat with an S4 saying there was an S4 seed with all swords in Wind Temple. That is horrific, especially because you remember S4, you didn't start with a sword.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely terrible.
Okay, so yeah, Bobby, he is making his way into DRC, which makes a lot of sense. You know, with the bow, leaf, bombs, and the grapple, he can pretty much do this like at full speed, so no reason to put it off. So yeah,
and then Tall did not even go check the top chest. I know that she typically likes to store that chest to go over to big keys. So now knowing that they're both keys, probably not going to take the 50-50 and just commit to the storage.
oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah, meanwhile Bobby here with a 100% chance of it being a small key. Even before he saw the chest, you'd know.
That is
just to repeat the joke in Mag's like, wow, a small key in the first chest of Wind Temple DLC. How unexpected, yeah.
Hey, you know what? It is really unexpected sometimes if you opt into key lunacy. All right.
Yeah.
You had the option with runners agreements to shake it up, and you chose not to do it.
Yeah, and then for whatever reason, it's still a DLC small key even with key lunacy on because the game is sentient.
Yeah. I was trying to get away from this. I did appreciate the runners agreements. I think when the idea first came out, I was kind of hesitant to it, but we played a few that were Dungeon ER plus key lunacy, and those settings I think synthesized really well, synergized really well. Makes some pretty fun seeds. But we have our second of 4 DRC keys. So not a forced trip to the basement. Potentially still a logical one. Is that a key chest? Yeah, that was a key chest. So we've seen 3 of the 5 keys. We don't need any once we get through that. Once we get that second one, we have everything we need to go backwards. So just Bobby keeping note of how many of those he's seen. Tall was just a little bit short of the 1 cycle, opting to just finish it with bombs, which I like.
That makes sense. She was on very low health though. I think she's just on a quarter of a heart now. So.
She's not picked up the soup yet. Yeah, 'cause she hasn't been back to outsets the bottle.
Yeah. Okay, first sword on Bobby's end.
Oh, Bobby, you're gonna. All right. Yeah, use the ice arrows. You also get the very funny Callie's dead, but the vines are still attached. gonna go ahead and refill bombs and I guess top off the bait bag. Just getting ready to do big when we make our way over to Outset on the way to ET. The path is fulfilled with the tingle statues for the mirror shield, but you never know. Big Pig could have your hammer. I did not see what was across the lava pit for Bobby. Don't know if we saw a key that we know would be the boss key.
I didn't quite catch what it was either.
We didn't because it's here, and that's the boss key.
Okay, oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, still looking.
Oh right, yeah. There literally can't be any more keys in this part of the dungeon. Literally has to be boss key. You're right.
Yeah. So we have one more key at large. Yeah, Bobby is ahead by most of DRC.
Yeah, I mean for most of this game, Bobby has kind of seemed ahead, but that's like mostly because for most of it, Tal was just kind of following in his footsteps and Tal did and stuff. I want to say a lot of that kind of fake time save from Bobby's end is kind of translated a bit into real time save, especially with getting bailed with that pigtoe on Windfall.
Yeah. Tal also sunk a lot of time into going for Islet of Steel right off of the start.
Oh yeah,
It was our second sword.
Yeah.
Getting paid out in Value Woods and the Value Volcano with 2 bows and 2 swords in each. We also got a completely useless Forwarder's Pearl because of the dead. And it looks like we do have a key at the boss key chest, so we are done here. A useless ghost ship chart. Did we get anything off of salvage?
Tingle statue.
Okay. I was gonna say, we knew Beetle was dead and we knew the ghost ship was dead, so if we had not received something from salvage, I think pushing Cyclos would have been a pretty good idea with the bows now, just given that Cease is 4 checks and not hinted foolish.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, get comfy. We gotta watch a brief movie on Bobby's side with very tiny amounts of gameplay interspersed.
And the gameplay itself isn't even that fun. You more just aim up. You aim up. Try to use the grapple on the tail. Keyword is try, because then the tail flies around, then Goma keeps hitting you, and then you just yeah. Why am I hearing it? It's just not fun. But yeah.
It's riveting in the sense that I imagine actual riveting is quite boring.
Oh yeah. Certainly not my favorite boss.
No, I think the most interesting part is dodging the fireballs.
Yeah.
And even that is, if you're not on Oko, the stakes are really low.
I mean, I've had it before where I've been hit by the fireballs, and that just completely derails me, and I've got hit by Goma twice.
Yeah, you don't have time to
it's more just okay. I mean, you can tell I'm salty, but it's just the RNG on Goma. Sometimes he's fine, and sometimes he just won't stop hitting you, and you're just please. Like, just...
Like, dog, you're the first boss of the game.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go this hard.
Yeah. I've lost so much stupid time with this boss. Yeah.
Just by having to do this boss, like there's just that much of your life that you can't get back. It's been spent in Goma fights.
I mean, yeah. So much of just watching a cutscene of this guy.
Yeah, this is my favorite movie. I've seen it 100 times. All right, so where does Bobby take it from here? We have, I believe, Ice Ring and Angular in play now. I don't think we've seen either of those.
That is true, especially with Mirror Shield. That again, Angular definitely makes a lot of sense right now. And yeah, I could tell on Bobby's tracker, like just that corner of the map of like Oasis to Angular. He hasn't been to. Oasis makes a little bit less sense right now because he doesn't have Hammer. And honestly, both these runners might actually just like both. I think really both these runners kind of are just waiting to get Hammer to do things like ET and stuff like that. So getting Hammer at this point would unlock quite a lot for these runners. Bobby doing this strat here, which I honestly just kind of forget exists, but yeah, you can just leaf over there and then you're good.
Okay, we missed a key then. I thought this was done. I think people usually continue on to there from lava pits, but Bobby opted to go straight back to the boss. So
yeah, Bobby only has one key.
I know we skipped one in the alcove.
Oh yeah, I think he only has one because he didn't like pick up a lot of them.
Yeah. Picked up the one that he knew had to be boss key, but okay, that is.
Oh, no, this is a key. This is a key. Okay, yeah.
Just a little miscount.
Oh yeah, easily done. Yeah. I think it's better to miscount the way Bobby did, instead of miscount in the way that you've in the sense that you think there's a key on Big Key. If there's not a key on Big Key, but actually it's like an item you really, really need. And then you end up missing it because you miscounted, and then you end up getting to the seed, and then you cry.
Yeah, and you just never even realize that it was there.
Yeah, so miscounting in the way like Bobby did, it's still time loss, but at least, he miscounted in the good way, if there is a good way to miscount.
Because I know, like, some people click every check on the tracker, but if I'm entering something like DRC that I know I can full clear, I click it and hit clear all. I'm done. It's out of my mind.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of people do that with dungeons, especially if you can clear it at full speed in the way you've always done. Just like clear all and then just like let muscle memory take over for like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like that with like Earth Temple or whatever, because I mean often I very much like I find Earth Temple I often find myself doing that the same way every single time. Smart people would say yesterday was the exception with the losers finals, but those seeds sucks. Those seeds sucks anyway.
That first one was not a like regular Earth Temple.
Both of them, oh my god.
But
maybe she'll live Earth Temple twice. But yeah.
Double spiky ice ring.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, we just saw a spiky on the other side, and I was just like 2 spikies, and we're at ice ring. It's double spiky.
Yeah. We did get light arrows though, which I swear light arrows often find their way on ice ring. Yeah, Momo chat saying classic lights on ice ring. Like I feel like lights just kind of live on ice ring.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I do feel like it's often like 2 bows that you could get in either order, and then like 3rd bow hard behind 2.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like Needle Rock Cave is like the classic lights location in my mind, or like
that's
the classic
another one. Yeah.
location.
It is. I feel like annoyingly common to see like the lights be fire and ice locked, just in general.
So now I have the natural progression down to angular. I would simply believe harder in ice ring. I'd just be a true ice ring believer. NRI is not the best island. It is.
What is the best? I've never actually thought about that. I've in like the one. How long have I played this game? 1 to 2-ish years I've been playing this game. I have not pondered that question of what is the best island. Actually,
Well, it's
thank you, thank you, Pogi. You've now put that question into my head, and I'll be pondering that for like the next 2 weeks of my life. Yeah.
No, paw print. You think you like paw print, and then you realize that you actually hate paw print. Paw print's a prison.
I think paw print is like one of the. If I'm thinking about it like just now, I mean, again, I'll be thinking about this way more in detail, knowing me. But like, I feel like paw print is like one of the better islands. I feel.
Yeah, I'm just hella greedy and get burned by being hella greedy.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, like, you know, okay, Din's Pearl, which is useless. But it was there on Angular, so
Yeah. Of
there.
all the items we could get, it was
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
So.
hey, at least it wasn't Iron Boots. Oh wait, both runners have that already.
Yeah, there's not really anything else useless at this point.
Yeah, you know, we've got all the pearls, got Iron Boots. Like, you know, there's only so much that could be used. That could be a dud.
This have we seen Diamond Step? I know we got Leaf and we've been in like dungeon mode since we got Leaf and Hookshot. So I know we haven't seen Horseshoe.
I don't think we've seen Diamond Step. Not that I can think of. Yeah.
I think this will be actually that's my vote. I think Diamond Step is the best island.
We found Hookshot on Lento's house, didn't we? Yeah, so
yeah, we went straight to dungeon mode. So I think this is the Southwest for Bobby.
Yeah. Okay, so Bobby doing the pig eat here, so always going to kind of put the pig in this very kind of specific spot in between the dude here and just like the fence and the building.
Yeah, talking a few times and get her pig.
Then the pig kind of gets off-centered and then yeet. And then the pig just kind of goes flying.
Everyone's favorite strat. If you do pig abuse, you're a bad person. I'll eat a couple seconds to make it daytime. And it has nothing to do with being afraid of getting hit by the pig. I don't know why anyone would think that.
The pig does do 3 hearts of damage, which it is more than Ganondorf as far as I know.
Yeah, the pig will truck you. And because we play with CTMC, we usually don't have very many hearts.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much always OHKO to the pig. As expected, we're gonna get the Southwest. The runners were talking in the race room about their mutual hatred for Horseshoe Island. So pretty good candidate for progression.
I do know many people who have a certain like, you know, not liking of this island specifically. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know many people who consider this to be the worst island in the game, and to those people, I do not blame you. It is. Yeah.
It's not my favorite. I like the leafless. I like the leafless strats. I like some of there's some cool strats, like the jump slash over the first vines is pretty cool. The little like kind of damage boost roll here is nice. So we are going to set up for the actual golf shot here. I'm going to call that a par 3 because we did throw the first one in for a shot. We skipped the second, but we did take 2 strokes on the last one. Golf, completely pointless, much like in real life. I will say I like Diamond Step. I think Diamond Step is a really good island, but I am not a fan of this kind of southwestern quadrant just because it's islands very close together with very, very different item requirements.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's,
I guess you could. I mean, you could do the whole thing with just a hook shot. Okay, I say whole thing. You'd have to like wait on for like Needle Rock if you wanted to combine it with that.
yeah.
But even then, just with the hook shot, you'd have to be doing something like Leafless Golf, which is it's Leafless Golf, so you know.
I learned
You
leafless golf before I learned leaf golf. It was just the way I learned to do it.
I know some people who was like first strat that like someone taught them like their first strat was like Leafless Golf, and meanwhile there's me where like it took me like a year to like Leafless strat was like Leafless Golf was like one of like the last strats I ever learned.
Hey, there's our final score. So we went from 0 to 4 in a pretty short amount of time. Double spiky diamond step.
There's a hammer. Yep, on Diamond Step.
Bobby is not done Islet yet, so we may see that here. I actually just opened ET on his tracker, so may just say this is game 3. I'm playing to win. We're going straight for ET. So I like it. No, we're gonna do Great Fish first. Wow.
Okay, so Tal doing this strat here with Angular.
Oh, is this the new one?
I believe this is the new one.
I learned, basically the Jackbox strat, where you just make a penis.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Bobby getting that sail jump into Islet quite nicely there.
Yeah. Basically cementing the time save from the early game.
Okay, so Tal just straight up just resetting after seeing that Din's Pearl, so fair enough. Fair enough.
Angular totally done. We'll just warp our way back to Ice Ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, gonna follow in Bobby's footsteps and do golf to big golf diamond step. Needle Rock dead, so we're not worried about that. Already got Islet done. Greyfish is in kind of an awkward spot for her, but you may just want to hold out till delivery bag. And I think we're getting top of waterfall check from Bobby. We're gonna do Cyclist first. But then he opened Cabana on his tracker. Which is he'll have a choice to make. Delivery bag still has not shown up. Could totally be the foolish location, and you would just be giving time back to an opponent. We know where Cabana Deed is. Neither runner opted to pick it up out of Jaboon's cave. But I would not hate breaking into Cabana. I mean, you have a lot of stuff in ET. Your delivery bag could just be sitting in there.
Piece of Heart on Cyclos right there, so much. Yeah, Tal doing the piggy again. So
No, we are we're going for ET.
Yep, Earth Temple. I think this makes a lot of sense with the items that Bobby has. Yeah, just looking at Shaka, everything is blue, so makes a lot of sense. Can clear this at full speed, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been available for a while. It's been available. Everything except left side was available at the same time as Woods and DRC because we just didn't know the hammer was sitting over at Diamond Stub. So there's always that late game decision of am I gonna cope a little bit more overworld and try to get that go mode ET. But at this point, we are looking for 2 more shards.
Yeah, 2 more shards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have all the bows, we have all the swords, we can do all the dungeons, so very much, late game stage at this point, so especially towards other randos, in some other randos, you can often, at least, okay, well, I'm speaking as someone who's had experience in Skyward Sword. In Skyward Sword, often you end up skipping a lot of checks, so by this point in the late game, you're often thinking, okay, what can I skip and stuff like that. In Wind Waker, that question is a little bit more kind of, it's not non-existent, it's less existent. Yeah. Because it's because often most seeds are close to, if not full clears, and so if you're being aggressive, it's definitely something you can consider, can I skip this, can I skip that? And it's actually why a lot of people tend to delay Earth Temple, is because Earth Temple is very much a dungeon that, the go mode time and the full clear time are 10-minute difference.
Yeah, it's ET is quite a few people's least favorite dungeon. It's a very intellectual dungeon. You actually have to use your brain and make some choices about how you're going to route it and go through it.
Especially if especially if both mirror shields are, or especially if mirror shields in this dungeon on both your teams. No, it's totally not salty from yesterday.
But you are right. You do get a lot of full clears because we have, with Hyrule is dead. The GT maze is dead. So we have 5 overworld shards that lock absolutely nothing. So they can be literally anywhere in the logic.
It is. Wind Waker is very much a game where you just need a lot of items. 3 bows, 3 3 swords, 5 shards. That's already a lot. I would do maths, but I can't be bothered. Compare that to Skyward Swords, where Skyward Sword is 3 swords, a harp, and I guess now also 3 Triforce pieces. But it's even then that's way less by comparison. And also just with I want to say the pool of checks in Wind Waker is less. It's been a while since I played Skyward Sword, so I can't quite remember. But
They're spread out.
Oh yeah, by design with Wind Waker, you often end up just one of your shards end up being a really naff location, so you end up having to get it.
Yeah, I've heard it described as Wind Waker has a lot of ice rods. You're familiar with ALTTP. So I don't think we had any keys up here in the front. So do we have 2 keys in the middle and 1 on left? Bobby took a look at the chest.
Potentially,
but was not interested in it. So
I didn't quite. Yeah, I did not quite see. I didn't quite see any keys either. I think it's entirely possible that you might have gone past one, but not that I was noticed. Getting this roll clip here first try, and then getting the movement here.
It's a very scary.
I know I was talking about technical movement earlier, but that movement there is quite technical. You have to do a frame perfect roll clip, and then you have to then leaf pump, and then you have to kind of maneuver Link in such a way that you don't end up going back in bounds, but you also actually still make the door. It's very kind of scary. Also, on Tal's side, this collision just doesn't exist. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's not even a clip or a glitch. Just the collision just does not exist.
there's a few places in Wind Waker where there's just, not you can just kind of go through stuff that things are not perfectly pushed against each other. Like, the Wind Temple, Songstone before Mulgara.
Oh, yeah.
So we did get a shard in the middle there. So I guess Bobby did opt to skip a key in first crypt. Because it's the only other place it could be. So we do have one on left side. We're going to store this one, and we're going to have to go the long way.
Yeah, I mean, now with Bobby finding that shard, we just need one more, pretty much.
Yeah. And like I mentioned at the start, Tal, the truest Bakreeber that I know. Kreeb was relevant in both Game 1 and Game 2, so we'll see if he's still got the juice.
Kreeb is definitely known for not having much, although Kreeb does have his moments. In some games, for example, like in the Speed Jamming Live Grand Finals, Kreeb had scored. So, and in fact, I think for the entire tournament, Kreeb had nothing. But then, right in the Grand Finals, he just snuck in just one useful item.
He shows up. He shows up when he's needed most. Not one of those flashy checks that always has something.
Oh yeah. We'll see what Kreeb has today. Just a red rupee.
Let down. I didn't see what was going on in third crypt, but Bobby didn't void out, so and don't think he's a gamble peeker, so it's nothing.
Oh, okay, Bobby's pointing out there. We should still be fine with that extra check. Yeah, with that chest. So we can just store that and just be back on his way. It's very much not a it's not really a place you want to void out, because at the very least this is time loss, and also again if you void out a second time, that's that's extra bad.
Yeah, and these keys will leave you alone for 10 runs in a row, and then just decide that nah, today's the day, and they're gonna knock you out of bounds. So getting rid of them with the ring, smart.
Oh yeah, the keys in third crypt I found especially have been particularly annoying.
I forgot that we hadn't put the leaf back on. We are also a little bit low on magic, but we do have soup. So probably going to need to top off before we go for this, because I don't know if we're going to have enough to make it past
Bobby. Okay.
We get it.
Bobby was dangerously close to voiding out there.
I was a little more worried about the magic. Glad this paused to put the soup on.
Bobby had several things going for him there.
Yeah. But this guy's a professional. You don't make it to Game 3 of CC Losers Finals if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
You gotta play fast. You gotta live on the edge. So. And yeah, we see different philosophies. Tal is going for a lot more overworld. Bobby pushed the dungeon. We'll see whose method triumphs. But we are going to break into Cabana.
Yeah. I mean, just on Bobby's side, that kind of I guess borderline dungeon rush mentality. I know it's definitely been a kind of a strat. So kind of becoming more and more on meta. I remember, I think when I first started playing this game in season 5, not too long ago. The idea of going to the idea of even doing Earth Temple before you had like before you did all your overworld checks. Just the idea of just that was sometimes considered risky. But nowadays it's like I don't really know if anything changed, or maybe just a natural like meta shift, which is how things naturally change. But like nowadays, you know, like dipping into dungeons seems to be more kind of certainly more common. I want to say this year compared to last year. I've always been someone who kind of does do that sort of thing that Bobby's doing here, which is kind of prioritize dungeons a little bit more. Simply because dungeons you're gonna have to do them anyway. Although I guess Earth Temple's a little bit of like a Earth Temple's a very interesting dungeon because, you know, as I mentioned at the start of Bobby doing this dungeon, is like, you know, the Go mode and the Go mode and the full clear are like so wildly different. Like, you know, like most of Earth Temple is like are checks that you might not even have to do. So it's like it very much makes sense to do what like Tal's doing here and just, you know, completely like, you know, just like try and hope that there's nothing in the rest of Earth Temple and find everything in Overworld, then Go mode it.
Yeah, it's
both very valid strats.
Two different philosophies, and we have not seen anything in Cabana yet.
Yeah, and nothing quite.
So, unfortunate. This delivery bag could be totally foolish. I'm gonna guess that we're gonna see basement first from Bobby. I don't think he has anything to store to go left side though.
He didn't get the key, did he? From no.
Oh, he voided, so he got the key from
Okay.
Floor Masters. So yeah.
Okay, so I do believe Bobby's doing something quite interesting here. He saved here, so it looks like he's probably going to do a save scum if what he finds is nothing. He's going to Tower of the Gods.
Is this Cabana?
Yeah. Looks like it might be a Cabana.
Yeah. I think I think it's a totally valid thought. You might be making a read that you might be making a read that your delivery bag is just in Earth Temple, and so you're kind of getting ahead of the seed by sidestepping that.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you're one item from Go mode, it's like, you know, anything's kind of a gamble at this point. So it's like, you know, like with that last shard, that can be pretty much anywhere. You know, anything makes sense.
Yeah, and the mail is foolish this seed too, which is another mark against the delivery bag potentially ever showing up. We get our creep check here. You know, just evening up some of that time that Tal invested. And looks like this is the ET play. I'm not sure what else Bobby has left on the overworld. I don't think he has anything. So I think it is just right back to ET after this. So I think we get the save scum here. Oh no, he hasn't done Manenko yet. Oh, we have one more thing on Windfall.
It's Tal here, just straight up doing the command melee strat and not messing around with any of the leaf pumps. Makes sense. These leaf pumps can be quite finicky, and also especially they do very much drain your magic. So again, very much a valid strat just to kind of not deal with them and just do this the intended way.
Yeah, she also didn't have the leaf equipped too, so I guess potentially saving
Yeah,
an
when
equip.
when you have when you just have the Wind Waker out, it makes a little bit more sense. Slightly less menuing that you'd have to do either way.
Yeah. Also, it's you're 90 minutes into a decisive game 3. Hands might be a little bit shaky, and you may
For sure.
may not trust your pumping because they like you said, these are some pretty tight pumps.
Mm-hmm.
The first logical pick though was on tree.
Yeah, first picture was there, and then second was of course in Lenzo's house. And Bobby was able to just kind of not skip the second picture or that first logical one because he did get that later on, but he definitely had to. He skipped the requirement of it, so
Yeah, we are seeing basement first. Better checks per minute.
It makes a lot more sense, I think, when you're missing one or two items from go to do basement first. I know if you do left side first, if you're doing it backwards, you can kind of save. You can save a save warp by using the middle dungeon pot instead of save warping back and then using the starting pot to get to basement.
Yeah, and Bobby also knows that there's a key on left side too, so that lowers the value slightly. Potentially even 2 because boss key is still at large.
Yep.
A little safety save to prevent the soft lock.
Okay, yep. Bobby's learning a lot of magic there, so having to drop down, get some magic there, and then just kind of goes there. Meanwhile, Tal doing a bomb push storage here on the dead chest. Once again, not opening the key chest, so Tal is going to be kind of making her way through the dungeon without a key, or without a key for the time being, at least.
Yeah, don't be like me and scum away your entire Earth Temple while playing Mixed Pool. Because, I haven't soft locked on this door in so long, I can just go for it. We are getting left side first. Tal did save before that chest, so maybe setting up the scum left side, but I think it's basically gotta be here.
Yeah.
Bobby will have to go and activate the chest and store it, but I think going to be our first runner into Hyrule. Unless Alby gets delivery bag and Bobby opts to go for Cabana because he did choose to skip it, whereas Tal has done it and would know to go to Windfall and do the letter checks. All right, so there's the key that we knew was here. This is another one of those tricky storage spots in First Crypt. From behind the statues, yeah, you can leave with the leaf.
Oh. Okay, there's that last shard.
Yep.
So Tal
gonna be go mode for Bobby.
Yeah, going for Bobby when Bobby gets there. Tal still needing that other shard that is also in Earth Temple. But yeah, Bobby very much getting rewarded for that. I guess pushing Earth Temple there with the shards being in the dungeon. So he's going to find that out very soon.
Yeah, and I think if we don't see delivery bag in these next two trucks on left side, it did just wind up in a foolish location.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, no, at this point, it's undeniable that Bobby has like a very strong lead if he didn't already. Almost dying though. On the lookout. Hey, there's double magic.
That magic locked in ET.
Okay, I guess yeah, Bobby checking this very quickly, and he finds that shard. So
classic Momo. When do you ever see second magic? The other shard is at the end of Floor Master's room. So Tala is going to get it here in just a little bit, but going to have to finish ET.
okay, so yeah, Tala just going to be clearing out the rest of Earth Temple, just trying to find her last shard. Bobby, with all the shards and stuff like that, going to yeah, pretty much just going to beat the game at this point. He should be about 10 minutes away from finishing. Maybe a few minutes less if he has a good high roll.
Oh no,
we will see.
Spiky.
A spiky. What could this be? It could be delivery bag. It is delivery bag.
That is really unfortunate. It won't matter though, because we are Tala's gonna go mode 4 before that becomes relevant. And it does make you at least retroactively feel a little bit better about your choice to go to Cabana.
Oh yeah.
So, but Bobby's now through the barrier. We're gonna get a safety save.
Yeah, so targeting the storage here. Targeting the storage with the Wind Waker on Z, which is Wind Waker on that button specifically. It do be a it's like I find it's hard to get storage with Wind Waker on Z because I think actually when I started playing Wind Waker, you know, and initially my instinct was to put Wind Waker on Z, but I found that really difficult with storage, and so then I moved it to like Y or X.
Sorry, I had to look at my GameCube controller and see if it had a Z button.
Okay, Z. Whatever.
I don't know what it is. Like I can put my sail on Z and pump it, like, but I cannot put my leaf on it at all. Like if for anything other than the sail, it's basically purely decorative as a button. Cannot trust it with anything important.
Yeah, I mean, I know people will put leaf on Z. Z. It's like yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Cindy, my Z button is basically purely decorative. I can't use it for anything important. I want to use Y for everything, but unfortunately I only have one Y button, so I have to learn how to leaf pump X, but it feels backward.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, like, leaf pumping, it makes sense, I guess, in a way, because like I know a lot of people like to do that two-finger leaf pump where they alternate between their index and their thumb. Other people, I want to say there are people who do that still with putting leaf on Y or X. What I do with leaf pumping is I put leaf on Y. I never put leaf on X. I pretty much always. No, actually, I'm sure there's like a point where I put leaf on X, but almost on Y. But I'll like roll my thumb up from the A button to the Y. To me, that feels most natural. But yeah,
I do middle and index finger and do like a piano motion.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
All right, we are into the true final boss. Really nice couple of shots.
Yeah. Bobby almost getting that third shot as well, but just slightly missed it now. PG is on top of him, which is very annoying. With that movement there. Again, very close to that. Oh. These shots are all very close, but just narrowly missing, so.
I know.
Yeah.
Tournament life on the line. Hitting these very precise shots.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's very much, especially with Puppygan just spinning now,
Yeah.
No question about it. Nerves are going to be very high at this point. Nerves are always very high when you're in an elimination game with these high stakes, knowing that your opponent could be right there. It's very often very nerve-wracking.
Oh man, I thought you had to put your sword away to do that leaf movement that Tal just did, but she had sword out and it worked. Shows what I know.
I think if you have your sword out, I think you just take out the leaf at a slightly later point in time, but it still appears to work.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I just feel like I learned very early when I started learning the game, and then it was just probably just misunderstanding what somebody was saying because I was new and didn't know anything.
Oh, definitely. I know. I have many things like that from this game. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but there's probably so many things I learned at the start when I was learning this game that complete not true at all.
And now I get on commentary and just state them as objective fact.
Oh yeah. Bobby made good work of PG2 with getting double crypt shot. And setting up for Trog. Getting it. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, so a bit of a rocky PG1, but very good textbook PG2 and 3, so very clean.
Really, really clutch fight, and now just got to mash your way up the rope. And I think in their game 1, I think Bobby opted to not go for grapple skip. See what he chooses to do at the top here.
I do know a lot of people might be a little bit uncomfortable with grapple skip, and sometimes it makes sense. Grapple skip has definitely straight up eliminated some people. Actually, some games have come down to failing grapple skip and stuff like that. So not choosing to not do it, especially in a high stakes game like this, is valid. But it looks like he's going for it. Yeah, looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, it's definitely have had periods of time where I just got completely in my head about failing grapple skip a few times, like we talked about with bumper storage.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, honestly, there's a reason why many of my greatest for example, most of my PBs are set at 2:00 in the morning because you're tired and you're not thinking.
Yeah.
But because you just let your brain go on autopilot, but then then you get in your own head and you think about it too much, and then you question everything, and then that's when you end up failing things.
Exactly. Gotta let the brain get out of the way so the hands can work their magic.
Honestly, yeah. So Bobby just making some good work of getting here. Clean fight so far. No drama just yet. Zelda is going to be getting the nice shot there, and yeah, that's it. That's a really good Ganon fight, and GG's to Bobby, finishing with a 140. 52 on his timer.
Yeah, going to be advancing to grand finals to take on Crystal Bellis. hopefully be able to put races for you.
Yeah.
And we are being joined by both runners. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Yeah, very, very, very good. Good race from both of you. It was just like unfortunate how it ended up turning out with you, Tal, with I guess, or more, I guess, with Bob, with how Bobby kind of went and pushed Earth Temple, and he ended up getting very, very rewarded with that. So
Yeah, I'm curious to watch it back, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was it was really exciting at the end. Like it mentioned, a total difference in philosophies of dungeons versus overworld.
Honestly, usually I do push my dungeons, but I had so little overworld left at a certain point that it started to like spook me. I was getting a little scared.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it makes sense how you don't want to have the situation where there's like two overworld checks and there's the entirety of Earth Temple, and then
Yeah.
the two shards are in those two checks the whole time. Like yeah.
Because it was just basically my mindset was that it was so possible that like delivery bag was just out there like a great fish or something, and it was going to open up like 6 more checks for me. So, and then by the time I'd committed to that, even though I didn't find delivery bag, he sort of committed at that point. Also, I think we might want to turn Bobby's volume up if possible, because I know he's there, but I'm not sure if we can hear him.
Let's see if I can. Need to do it on actual free stream as well.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think for a lot of the, a lot of especially the early game, a lot like you two were very close. A lot of it did end up like a lot of it you were kind of following Bobby a lot of the time, but for example, Tal, you actually went to Islet of Steel like first.
Yeah.
Right at the start, Bobby did not, and you went to Outset when Bobby went to Windfall. So, oh yeah, and stuff like that. So, like a lot of it kind of like appeared to have that sort of like fake time loss.
Yeah.
That fake time loss did end up turning into kind of real time loss. I think when Bobby got that Picto box on Lender's, because he
Oh my god.
he did Lender's door cancel without the Picto. And just found that Picto there.
What a Giga Chad move in a scene where Pompey and Vera is hinted leaf. I respect the hell out of it. It's kind of funny because I felt so proud of myself for reading that like Forest Haven patent. Like I knew definitively that something leading to Leaf or Bows had to be up there on Tree Branch specifically. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I tried to turn Bobby up just a little bit here too to see if we can. Okay, gotta go just a little bit more, but I can hear you a lot better.
No.
There you go.
I can quietly. I don't know if it's any better on stream.
I had to turn him up to 200% on both my end and the stream end, so you may have to turn him up on your end.
Oh yeah.
There we go. All right, that should be a lot better. Yeah, Bobby, what was the thought process on the door cancel?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So, what was the decision on door canceling?
Well, the hint of the Picto.
I mean, it does make sense. There's only so many checks on Windfall, and one has to it being locked like in one of those two checks is certainly not an outlandish idea.
I also think I have. That was last location Windfall, I think. So
yeah. Yeah, it was. It was just certainly interesting kind of item placements, especially with that. For the longest time, actually, me and Pix were kind of speculating that Picto might be on like Kids or on Miss Marie or something like horrible like that.
It seemed like the classic, and then also the delivery bag just being basically non-existent until go mode.
Yeah. So actually, I can talk through this. I was pretty certain that the Picto on Windfall could not be Sphere Zero because we have that Forest Haven to DRC patent, right? That can't be grapple because everything at Forest Haven is grapple locked. so it has to be pointing towards basement. So once we found magic and it wasn't locked by anything, it meant that either Forest Haven was leading to my leaf or it was leading to Fire Ice, which locked my leaf. So there had to be something locking leaf at Forest Haven, and leaf was behind a Picto. So I knew there couldn't just be one free Picto out there.
That is very big brain. I did not like.
It didn't work out for me, did it?
I mean, like I would not have thought about it that deep. I didn't think about it that deep, straight up. Yeah, I mean, like, actually, I think kind of that Picto on Tree Branch kind of like in a way was kind of like a surprise, given that at least to me it was. I expected it to be something like delivery bag, and then there to be something on like one like delivery bag checks on Windfall.
Yeah, no, that was entirely possible as well. It was
yeah.
as I was like climbing the bulbs, I was like, I'll be honest, I was thinking it was going to be some like whole big Fire Ice thing, and as I was going up the last bulb, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if this was Picto? What an amazing moment!
Wouldn't it be funny if this is something 5 seconds later? It's that exact thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, yeah, very interesting Picto locations and stuff like that. But yeah, no, in general, you know, again, both of you played very well, I think. Not too many execution mistakes that I noticed. You guys probably might have, like, you know, nitpicks yourself. But, you know, of course, like, that happens. But yeah, again, you know, you two play very well. Yeah, no, Bobby, you will be advancing to Challenge Cup Grand Finals to face Crystal Bellis. How do you feel about just making it this far? Because honestly, yeah, Bobby, you've had quite the massive improvement rate going from 13th seed to the grand finals of the cup. So, you know, very much like, you know, how are you feeling about this matchup, and how do you feel about kind of making it this far in the tournament in general? Actually, I'll just ask.
Well, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, continuing a really good run. We were kind of talking about it at the start that I think you said you'd been playing kind of casually for a while, but this was the first season you decided to break into racing. You've had tremendous results.
Yeah, I know. The nerves.
But yeah, I think with that we are going to probably wrap it up here. So want to give a shout out to our runners, Tal and Bobby. Tal going to be finishing third in the Challenge Cup, which is very, very impressive accomplishment.
Thank you.
GG's. Bobby, best of luck against Crystal. Fine.
Yeah,
hopefully be getting these on restream.
Very excited to see those matchups. I think that's going to be a really good one. Bobby has been an incredible player throughout this Challenge Cup. And GG's on this one, honestly. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And big thank you to Kitcott for for being my co-commentator, and for also carrying us with about like 10 minutes of rapid radio commentary while we had to deal with some stream issues. So when you watch it back, sorry that like there's like 12 minutes missing towards like the middle and beginning, but you get to hear a lot of Kitcott frantically talking about what you're doing, which is almost better than seeing. And then also to our two trackers for watching all of our items today. But with that, we're going to call it here. We're going to go over to J-Dude, who is doing the fun race this week, which was bingo. We're going to go on some bingo action. But thank you so much, everyone, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.